Okay, I see the Purple Rain T-shirt. What's happening?
You like that? Yeah. Have you seen Purple Rain? Okay, Yudi's shaking his head no. Purple Rain is one of my absolute favorite films, and there's one of my absolute favorite scenes apart from Lake Minnetonka, but it's when he goes downstairs and he's like, his dad has just beat up his mom, and he walks into the living room. He's like, where are you? Where are you, motherfucker?
Where are you? Answer me, motherfucker!
So we're not here to talk about Purple Rain, obviously. We're here to talk about Adventures Reads. Hey everybody, it's your girl Malaika, co-founder of Adventures from the Bedrooms of African Women, and here to talk to you about one of my favorite projects that we have on Adventures. It's our podcast that has been running for the last 4 years. We're now in season 8, and that is Adventures Reads. Buckle up, we're gonna talk into some lore. We started Reads because one of our audience members lived in the Caribbean, and it's important for me to mention that because we have a global audience, baby. Found it difficult to read the font on our page, not because the font was really small, but because they had very poor vision. And they said that it would be really nice if we could accompany what we were writing with some sort of audio format. Now, this was a really long time ago. Technology at the time hadn't caught up to our abilities. And I'm saying it's technology, not us, women in tech. But it was really literally 2.5 of us running the blog at that time. We just didn't have the expertise and the know-how. Fast forward a couple of years later, it's become much easier to use these kind of apps. We have a much bigger team, and we have been doing Reads now for 4 years. So we're able to fulfill that promise that we had from 10 years ago today.
So, what kinds of people audition and become the voices behind Reads?
Because the entire concept of Reads was inspired by an audience member, we thought that it would be really important to open up the opportunity for Reads to be done by our wonderful audience. How much fun would it be to say, okay, yeah, I am somebody who lives in Kenya and I lent my voice to Adventures, because Adventures at its core has always been a community project, and Reads is an extension of that community mindset. So we open it up specifically to people who are novices and beginners in their voice acting career, because a lot of people, especially on the continent, don't get an opportunity to get into voiceover work, especially now in the days of AI. So we value human voices, but more specifically people who are a part of our community, who don't have lots of experience and do voiceover work, but want to create a reel that will help them in their journey to becoming voice actors. That's right.
I like that.
Okay. Now we're going to make a drink. Because behind the bar is one of my favorite places to be. I love a good drink. Let me show you my Inverroche collection.
We see you. We see it.
Up there.
Shout out Inverroche. Shout out.
Shout out to Inverroche. Shout out to Lorna Scott. But why am I behind the bar? Because we are about to talk about accents.
And something that's interesting is we've heard that a lot, right? African accents. And I want to really understand, what is an African accent in Hollywood? Because that's a term that we hear.
That's a term that we hear, and it is, in my opinion, a nonsensical term. What is an African accent? I can't expect somebody who comes from Libya to sound like somebody who comes from, I don't know, Zambia. Like even though they both end in they're two different parts of the continent. So we, with Reads, worked really hard to dispel this stereotype of an African accent. And I want to go ahead and make a drink on this one, because that has actually really pissed me off. This idea that Africans are a monolith. I think I'm going to have the amber. The idea that Africans are a monolith, that we all sound alike, that you can just lump us all together in one little group and say, yeah, be African. And yeah, there are some things that we do that are similar, but much of our lifestyles, the things that even affect how we speak and why we speak the ways that we speak, colonization, who colonized us, even the type of food that we eat affects our accents. This is a celebration of our diverse accents, identities, ways of speaking and being. So Hollywood, there is no such thing as an African accent. Keep that in mind.
Love it. That's right.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh my God, have you tasted this?
Is that the money?
That's the money. Amber.
So, talk to us about the people who actually write the articles.
We have an amazing cabal of feminist and womanist writers. I'm just gonna bring this Inverash with me, come with me. And they come from all over the continent. So as you know, Adventures commissions writers from all over the continent and the diaspora. On Reads, there are very specific people whose writing resonates with a lot of our audience. It's writers like A. Duchess, like Ikuba, like Miracle Oka. Those are people who've written for us that really get into the erotic nitty-gritty that folk love, and it's long form writing. And those are the people who have been carrying Reads for the last couple of seasons. Oh, well, wait a second. But you didn't ask me. Who are some of my favorite readers? This is a very difficult question to answer, but I will give you my top 3, apart from myself, because I love the sound of my own voice. But top 3, Freddie Boswell, Wana Udabang, who is a fantastic Nigerian spoken word artist and poet, and just a woman of all trades, and Chido Impusa. She goes by Etana Patriot. I can't remember where Chido is from, but she has this very sultry, deep, mythical quality to her voice. I'm going to ask everybody to go and check out the Anansi story. It's so spooky. The article itself was a spooky article, and Chido's voice made it spookier. If you're afraid of blood play, don't go there. But if you're adventurous, check out that read. That's a dope read. So because we are very mindful, very demure about the general public, and we know that our content is not safe for work, we're also starting a Patreon page. And this gives us an opportunity to further support those novice voiceover actors and also get into a little bit more of the nasty play. So check out and just be watching our pages about our Patreon, which you can support and also get a little bit more erotica, a little bit more kinky content for your brain.
Sip to that.
Sip to that! You can find episodes of Adventures Reads on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever it is that you get your podcasts. We are global. We are worldwide, baby. Check us out.